The first thing Sergeant Marcus Hale noticed about the new female recruit was how calm she looked while the rest of the platoon struggled to keep up. That irritated him. In front of everyone, he smirked and said she clearly looked better suited for an office than a battlefield. Laughter echoed across the training ground. She didn't answer. She simply held his gaze for a second and continued the exercise with quiet determination. He thought he had put her in her place. He had no idea who she really was. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Private Elena Brooks had learned long ago that proving people wrong was louder than arguing with them. Every mocking remark settled inside her like another stone she refused to carry forever. She wasn't there to impress anyone. She was there because years earlier, someone had believed in her when almost everyone else had walked away. The following days only became harder. Sergeant Hale watched her relentlessly, correcting every tiny mistake while overlooking the same errors from others. Some recruits pitted her. Others kept their distance, afraid of becoming the next target. Yet every morning, before the sun burned away the cold mist hanging over the parade field, Elena stood ready. Boots polished. Uniform perfect. Eyes steady. Then came the announcement. The unit would participate in a surprise combat readiness evaluation led by a senior military instructor whose identity remained classified. Even Sergeant Hale straightened his posture. Rumors spread like wildfire. Whoever arrived would decide promotions, transfers, and careers. The convoy rolled in beneath a sky heavy with gray clouds. Engines fell silent. Boots struck the pavement with perfect rhythm. Soldiers stood frozen as a decorated officer stepped forward and immediately walked toward Elena. The officer smiled. "Good to see you again, Chief Instructor Brooks." Silence crashed over the entire base. Sergeant Hale felt the blood drain from his face. Chief Instructor Elena Brooks. Not a rookie. Not an inexperienced recruit. She had spent months undercover, evaluating leadership culture from inside the ranks. Before that, she had personally designed advanced combat training used across multiple battalions, including the very program Sergeant Hale proudly taught every day. The whispers started instantly. She trained his entire unit. He mocked the woman who wrote the manual. Every pair of eyes turned toward the sergeant. For the first time in years, Marcus Hale couldn't find a single word. Yet Elena didn't humiliate him. Instead, she requested one final field exercise before revealing her full report. Hours later, the platoon entered rugged terrain filled with steep ravines and heavy obstacles. The scenario demanded flawless coordination. Smoke drifted through the trees. Radios crackled. Commands echoed across the hills. Then everything went wrong. A simulated explosion separated Sergeant Hale from his squad. His footing slipped on loose rock, leaving him trapped beneath fallen debris during the exercise. Though staged, the danger had become painfully real. Without hesitation, Elena took command. Her voice remained calm. Teams moved like flowing water around obstacles. Engineers struck tools in perfect rhythm against the debris while medics prepared equipment before anyone asked. Every movement fit together with breathtaking precision. Even Hale watched in disbelief. Within minutes, he was safely freed. Breathing heavily, he looked at the woman he had spent days trying to embarrass. She had every reason to let him fail. She chose leadership instead. Back at headquarters, the entire unit gathered for the evaluation results. The room was so quiet that even the rustling flags seemed loud. Everyone expected Elena to expose the sergeant completely. Instead, she spoke carefully. She praised the courage of the recruits, highlighted weaknesses in leadership, and reminded every officer that authority built on fear eventually collapses. Respect built on character lasts far longer. Then she looked directly at Marcus Hale. "You taught your soldiers discipline," she said softly. "Now teach them dignity." No applause came at first, only stillness. Then one recruit began clapping. Another joined. Soon the entire hall rose to its feet. Marcus Hale stepped forward, removed his campaign hat, and offered the first sincere salute of his career, not because rank demanded it, but because respect finally did. From that day on, no recruit under his command was judged by appearance before ability. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. And just as the morning mist had once hidden the truth standing before him, it eventually lifted, revealing not weakness, but quiet greatness. If this story stayed with you, Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever been underestimated before proving everyone wrong? And if you enjoy stories about courage, justice, and unforgettable moments of humanity, be sure to subscribe and join us for the next journey. Because the greatest victories are often the ones no one sees coming until it's too late to look away.